Hello children of the world, it's Mama. Did you miss me? Because I sure have missed you. So today Mama's going to show you Cookie Monster before he goes to the spa and kind of all the damages that it has acquired. And then I just want to show you kind of the before the spa treatment, so then you can kind of understand maybe what the capability of the treatment is and what can be done or cannot be done, and so kind of just like baby your bag accordingly, I guess. So let's just kind of have an overview. So it's you can kind of see, like, just in general that there is bubbling and scratches on the surface, but it's not terrible. Like, it's like if I carry this, no one's gonna be like, oh my god, that's fucked up. But if you look closely, it's obviously there's some bubbling, and so if you can see, there's on here all the wax kind of got rubbed off from just wear and tear. Not completely, but you can kind of start seeing the edging is kind of starting to wear off. A little bit here, but not as bad. If you can kind of compare, you see how this side is completely, worn out. And then this side isn't as bad. So you can clearly tell that's kind of where that side is wearing. It did go fatter because this used to be more concave like this. But now it's, as you stuff in it, it does get bigger. The hardware on the base is a little bit wear, but not super terrible. So that's totally fine. Like, we're not sending that for that repair. So the back, do you see the back is still very smooth because it hasn't got so much water on it. Strap is pretty decent. It kept up pretty decent. It got softer. When I first got this, it was a little bit hard, and then so as you wear them, it kind of just gets softer as you kind of carry it. And then there is the thing, and so it's that's how you open it, and then as you can see here, it's a little bit scratched up. So I don't think I'm getting these guys replaced or this. The main thing is kind of this guy here, because I mean, do you see how that is like bent towards that side now? And then if I turn it the other way, it's bent up because I hit it this way, and then on there, and so on that, just see, there we go, it's bent, and so that needs to be replaced. Yeah, but it got a lot looser, so it turned nicely. But so you can kind of clip it and close like this quite nicely. But the problem is it does move, and so eventually it will pop open. So it's not the greatest, but at least it's it's holding it together just time being. So, but now it just got a little bit too much for me, so I need to send it back and get it fixed, get it all fixed. And then let me just pan up, and I just want to show you the straps. So the straps, let's see it, but so it does have a little bit of wear just kind of on the handle here, where obviously you hold the bag. Right, can you see it? Yeah. And then on the back side, it's not terrible, but I can kind of start to see that it's the coating is kind of starting to wear off. And so on here, I think it's pretty decent. I did scuffed up. I think I can't remember this side. Or was it this side? But I think I when I was, doing my fall or something, like I kind of might have hit it, and then, but yeah, the rest of this is fine. So the corner here, I do find it got a little bit softer as you wear them like this flap, and you kind of see that it kind of, as you wear them, this kind of gets bent inwards, because when you carry the bag, all the pressure is kind of on here, and so these flaps are just kind of sitting like this, because you don't really close it up like that, because it just is not the most, because you have to push it in when you're trying to close it. So you really have to make a effort to close it like that, right? And so so it doesn't, it's not as easy access, because you can't just go in and out of it super easily. So yeah, but and then here on the corner here is where it kind of got, you can tell, I'm trying to zoom in as close as possible. Hold on, maybe let me just zoom in from the camera. Oh, there we go. So you can kind of see that the stitching, right? Do you see how that's like, the stitching. The stitching kind of came, here, let me get more light in here. The stitching kind of came loose, so one stitch is gone, and so it's kind of holding on for its dear life. And this side is a little bit warm, but it hasn't popped off yet, so which is good, but still. Inside the bag is still beautiful. I hope you can see it. Inside the bag is still nice, so there's still 2 more. So it does. I do like once you start wearing it in, it does get a little bit easier to move around, and because once you first get it, it's very stiff, and so I find if you could kind of just put stuff in it for a little bit, just like little business cards. I usually put business cards on here, and then my other easily accessed cards here. I really wouldn't put my phone in there because they're a little bit too thin for phone, so I wouldn't do that. But I would definitely put just a single card or an ID in there, and then but it does get a little bit looser, as you can see on the side, it does get a little bit puffier like this. So overall, the bag just wears in, and it wears in quite beautifully. So I quite like it. So this kind of it does. You could fit quite a bit, and this is a 32. Cellier. And so it's electric blue, gold hardware. And then it's just, I think it's a stunning bag, and I'm sorry that I got really damage to it. But other than that, it's a beautiful bag. I definitely suggest getting it. If you're a little bit, I am 5'9". So on me, it's a perfect size. I'm a little bit bigger frame, because, lots to love. But if you're a smaller guy or a smaller gal, I definitely would suggest you go either a 28, 32 might be a little bit too big on you. Definitely not 35, unless you want to carry it for business or something. I would not use a 35 as an evening bag, because it's a little bit too big. But if you do go and get the Retourne, which is the one that look kind of like the Birkin finish, where you get the piping and all of that, I definitely do suggest if you get a bigger size, get that and not a Cellier, because this does get a little bit, it's very structured, and so, which is great, because after, I think I had this for a year or two, I think, something like that. So it does hold its shape, which I love. But if you do go get the Retourne, it does soften up, it does kind of slag, so it's a little bit more casual, but this is a little bit more evening bag, night bag kind of thing, so it's because, just you can kind of, it holds its shape, it's not slouchy. But if you do go bigger size, I'll definitely get the Retourne, which you'll probably have easier time getting, because they don't make too much of these guys anymore. I don't know why, I guess it's more labor intensive, because the stitching is so obvious, so they have to make sure it's done right, I guess. So the Retourne is turned inside out, so I guess if they fucked it up, the stitching is not so terrible. But these one, and I think these are a little bit more expensive. I think it's a couple $100 more. But yeah, overall I think it's great. So yeah, so I definitely suggest if you're a smaller frame, go 28. And then if you want to go bigger, I would definitely go get the Return. It's a little bit more relaxed, but I am looking for a big. I'm looking for a 35 in Salier. So but obviously because I'm like a little bit bigger, I'm taller, and so yeah. So I definitely would suggest you go a little bit smaller, but again, to each their own. And it is light compared to Birkins. Kelly is lighter just because it's not as fat on this way, so it kind of it just has less material, but it is lighter. So yeah, so it's definitely not like Birkin where it gets so overly heavy. And yeah, and so that's kind of the overview of kind of what is being sent out to be repaired. So I'm gonna get everything all recoated. The stitching is gonna be fixed. This piece, the turn is what I wanted to be fixed, but they said they could just change all the metal pieces. But I mean, it's kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like when it's all scratched up, you're like, I'm okay with it. You're like, it's already damaged. So you're not like super babying it, which kind of like, that's how my lifestyle is. And yeah, and so I might get them to replace it, but I'm gonna have to get them to quote me first because I'm like, if I'm gonna pay extra like $300 and I'm gonna scratch it up anyways, so like, why bother, right? Literally burning my money away. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful, and comment and like and share and like tell all your friends and family. Mama No Best is here, and yeah, and so remember, Mama loves you.